The Gameday Broadcast Network is proud to present Baseball Media Day, hosted by the Ballpark Loudon. Baseball Media Day is brought to you by Capital Closets, a perfect solution for all of your storage needs. By Integrated Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. Visit Robin O'Connor and her team the next time you have to get back in the game. And by Finnegan's Grill and Irish Pub, the best sports pub and grill in Ashburn.
How's it going? Coach Van Dusseldorp, head baseball coach at John Champe High School. We're at the 6A level in the Cedar Run district, and we're excited for the season. A little quick recap of last year. We finished 4 and 16, finished 7th in our conference. A couple of highlights: we had a walk-off win against Pot Falls and a big win during spring break against Fauquier. We battled injuries last year, especially on the mound, and made it difficult to compete in some games. But our kids fought hard, and we're really looking forward to for this year. Our off-season development in the fall and spring was really good. We had a lot of kids buying in, showing that with their actions. Our last off-season workout, we had 32 players, and we had 34 try out. So that was good to see, and we averaged low 20s pretty much throughout the winter and fall. We also played a fall break or a fall season as well, and a lot of the players were involved with that during that time. We have 4 seniors that are going to have 4 years of high school experience. So we'll lean on them for leadership, expertise, and we haven't named captains yet. We believe those are vital roles in our program, and we use the first couple weeks as an audition. So we'll be putting out the captains here soon. In addition to that, we have 8 returners that saw some time at the varsity level throughout last year. We did graduate 7 seniors, 2 of which are currently playing collegiate baseball. Ryan Grayshak is at Virginia Tech. He's being redshirted this year. And then Caden Erder at Penn State Harrisburg. We're going to miss some of the senior leadership from last year, and also the innings that they provided with us on the mound. Hitting wise, we believe in team offense. All right, we're gonna apply the pressure. We play in probably one of the bigger ballparks in Virginia here, so we really have to put the ball in play and make things happen. I think up and down the lineup, there's a lot of guys that we can lean on to produce. We have a couple of seniors that have some pop, Justin Velez and June Kim. I think we're going to have really good years and can provide some pop in the middle of the lineup. We have some younger kids that we're really looking forward to seeing compete and seeing what they can do at the high school level. With that said, we have 8 underclassmen on the varsity team, 6 sophomores and 2 freshmen, and we're really excited, with our numbers, both at the varsity and JV level, that we have, with our underclassmen. We have 8 juniors, so we're going to be a young team, but we're going to bring the energy, and we're going to compete. We're going to compete hard, and our goal this year is to make the district tournament, the top 6 go, all right, and then to compete for the one of the 4 regional spots in the Cedar Run. So that's a rundown of Champ baseball, and we're excited to get the season underway.
Well, shall we start with questions? Let's start with, if you were mentoring a young coach about how to develop players with navigating the recruiting process, what advice would you give them?
I think there's 2 things: communication and building relationships. Nowadays, with the tools that you have handy, whether it's social media, the recruiting companies, really establishing kind of your brand in terms of helping those players get to a good position, so that they get exposure, and also the right exposure into the right caliber of player that they are.
Hey, Coach, Bob Duncan with Gameday magazine. Competition has really started to pick up, and Northern Virginia has become a really almost a hotbed, if you will, of good baseball talent. What's the game that you're most looking forward to this season?
Certainly, competition around here is, if you go anywhere around the state, Northern Virginia it's where it's at. There's a couple games that our players are really excited for. Our crosstown rival, Freedom, is always a big game. We're also participating in a spring break tournament at Light Ridge, and we're excited for those games.
Coach, this is just one of my curiosities about how you're handling your team. With respect to offense, do you teach your kids a system of hitting, a philosophy of hitting, or do you let them sort of bring in their own style and work with that?
We have a universal team offense philosophy. We don't clone hitters in terms of kind of the fundamentals. There's some differences in swings. But there are kind of some foundational things that we teach.
Coach, it seems like these days they're coming up with different kinds of statistics and analytics, launch angle and spin rate and exit velocity and stuff like that. How much does that sort of stuff play into your coaching philosophy?
We try to keep it the basics. We have a couple weeks, before our game. We try to keep it simple and get back to the basics when it's pitchers throwing strikes, changing speeds, getting ahead of hitters, defense, making the routine plays, hitters putting the ball in play, and being a tough out. Those aspects, I think, lead to winning baseballs at the high school level. Not that I don't believe in the analytics, but it's a lot to put into a program, especially when you have limited time with players in the spring.
How many pitchers do you think does a high school team need to have a successful season, and how many of those slots are you confident of now? How many will be sort of developing situations as the season progresses?
You would really hope for at least 4 or 5 solid, pitchers that you can rely on. We're losing a lot of innings, on the mound, but we've seen some really good things this spring so far. We have a senior, Cam Ward, that's been looking really good. That we're hoping to eat some innings, and some guys that are looking to make that next step from JV to varsity level. But we look we'll see in the scrimmages, but there's going to be 6 to 7 are going to get an opportunity to pitch in those 2 scrimmages. We scrimmage North Stafford on Wednesday, and then Light Ridge the following Monday. So we'll see how they compete, and then kind of go from there.
And just follow up that, are your pitchers on a pitch count through the season?
Yes, especially early on in the season. I believe in it's a 20%, so they shouldn't increase their pitch total by 20% from outing to outing. The first outing, we're looking about 30, 40 pitches max, and then we progress up and adhere to the pitching rules once they get to a full built up. But the first couple outings, there are certainly some limitations on pitch counts.
Coach, you mentioned earlier that you got 4 seniors coming back and they're going to be leaning on them for leadership, but kind of turn the tables on you a little bit there. How would your players describe you as a leader?
I like to provide, lead by example. I try to keep the verbiage to a minimum, but when we play, talk about details and playing hard. That's how I coach, and talk about the details and how our practices are set up. Try to display that behavior.
I know high school baseball coaching is, it's a short season, but it's probably more like a full-time job, an all-year job, really. What is it about coaching that gets you excited? What is it about the whole thing that gets you up and going?
It's all about, the relationships and the impact that you can have on players and student athletes. And each year it has its own challenges, and always like to, face those challenges and come out and reach the fullest potential of that team. So it comes back to the relationships and getting former players coming back to the field a couple years, later that's what it's, all high school baseball or any coaching's all about.
Kind of to follow up on that a little bit, as the season progresses, you talked about building a culture and getting the former players to come back and having an impact on their lives. What is the maybe one lesson that you want your players to take from you?
Resiliency. I think I think baseball represents life. There's some ups and downs and some tough times and some losing streaks and slumps. But if you keep on working and if you love what you do and you love the game, you'll keep on working at it, and you'll eventually see success and results.
Coach, thank you for coming.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Look forward to
This presentation of Game Day Baseball Media Day has been brought to you by the Ballpark Loudon, the newest home for baseball training, team parties, and corporate events in Loudoun County, Virginia. Come live the experience. To watch more of Game Day Baseball Media Day, visit the Game Day Nation Facebook page at facebook.com/Game Day Broadcast and on Twitter at GBN Mobile.